Here's the big thing that nobody's talking about with this situation, and I'm surprised that no one is talking about it. The Lakers sale. Now it's July, so last month, I think it was like June 10th or around that. It wasn't that long ago, a few weeks ago, to Mark Walter. And, he's the new owner now. He owned 26%. Now he owns the majority. And that takes the ma and pa feel away from the Lakers, away from the Buss family, away from Jeannie Buss, Linda Rambis, like that shop that was a friends and family deal that was actually, I think, super cool to have a major successful organization in a city like Los Angeles thriving for so many years and being one of the iconic organizations in all of sports. And that's thanks to the Buss family. The NBA thanks them. I thank them as a young guy who grew up watching the Lakers and the Celtics. But now the page is turned. And part of the Buss family's lineage and legacy were sweetheart deals to superstars on their way out of town, specifically Kobe. Kobe was signed to a $50 million deal in 2014, I'm pretty sure it was, for 2014, 2015 season and 2015, 2016, his last 2 years, right? That made him the highest paid player in basketball. Okay, feeding Kobe's ego. He honestly did not deserve that contract at the time. And it was literally labeled as a legacy deal, like thank you for your service. Okay, go back. I don't know. At this point now, we're talking almost 50 years, 45 years. In the early 80s, after Magic establishes his prominence in the NBA, Dr. Jerry Buss signs him to a lifetime contract, $25 million, 25 years. In like 81, that was a ridiculous contract on paper, which the Lakers and Magic had to continually adjust to keep everything steady financially for the organization and for Magic, right? At some point, he's worth more than $1 million a year. But a 25-year commitment, like that is not normal. And something like that you would never see today unless it was the Lakers. But guess what? It's not those Lakers anymore. These are Mark Walter's Lakers. And what that means is there's no LeBron extra love and appreciation coming from the very top. I understand that Jeannie Buss is still on board as governor of the team. I know that Rob Pelinka is still the GM, right? But we're coming off a time, and as much as it was like a travesty in Dallas, but like these big time owners, they look at the bottom line, right? Like the feels are somewhat removed. The Dumont family forcing Nico Harrison to trade Luka Doncic and not pay him the Supermax is an indication of this. Whether you look at that as bad or good, I think most of us say bad, right? Especially living here in the DFW area. But like, there is no friends and family benefits for LeBron now under this new regime. And I believe there would have been a little bit more TLC had this new ownership group and the sale not been announced earlier in June, right? And I don't care what you can tell me whatever you want, like officially it's this, officially it's that, it hasn't officially turned over. No. This is a new day with the Lakers. And I'm not saying it's going to affect their quality of play on the floor. I am saying it's going to affect relationships and sweetheart deals and thank yous to megastars who have given so much to LA. I would even assume, and I've heard people talk about this before, people who know way more than me around the league, that was part of the recruitment. Is like, hey, you come to the Lakers, you finish your career here, we take great care of our superstars. And nobody foresaw this seismic change coming with ownership. Nobody saw the valuation of the Lakers being north of $10 billion. Like things change, right? In your work life and my work life, you start a job with somebody and you have a particular boss, and all of a sudden that boss is gone. And then another boss comes in. And then it's just, that's life. The only thing that's consistent is life is change. But there wasn't much change for the Lakers for a very long time, but now there has been some change, and it is certainly going to affect situations like this going forward. But right now, it affects LeBron. Now, here's where it gets super interesting. Yesterday, there was all it is buzz and speculation right now. But there are 3 teams who are rumored to be possible destinations if LeBron were to get traded: Cleveland, New York, and Dallas. That is a realistic situation if over the next 24 to 48 hours, right, the Lakers don't make any big moves to sign defensive help or get better. Now they have plenty of time over the rest of the summer, but we saw the Rich Paul statement. We are closely monitoring this situation over the next, X amount of days and time. Like, the Lakers need to get better soon. Otherwise, the trade they make will include LeBron, right? And so, he has a no trade clause too. So that's why those are the 3 teams that people are talking about, because folks close to that situation report that that's where LeBron would want to play. There's also a situation where if you sign a big star and you're the Lakers, you screw up your flexibility for next offseason. For the 2026 offseason, where you would have, if LeBron's contract comes off the books, then you would have money to sign 2 other max players, right? Like there is a chance here, the way that I see it and the way that other folks see it, that like there could be a blockbuster LeBron trade, and it could be to Dallas. Like, could you imagine that? Because you know how these NBA guys go. Like, ball players are the best. I was one once upon a time, but like, not like, I shouldn't even say that in this conversation, but I'm just not, I want to be able to connect with athletes still. LeBron and AD, like, they play together. They're long lost pals. They win a championship. Then LeBron breaks the scoring title and the scoring record, and AD's like sitting down, like, who the hell knows, right? But it's pretty easy for those guys, I would imagine, to get back together and like, oh, we're putting the band back together, and like that would make sense too. So the trade to the Mavs is pure speculation, but it is pure. It is so interesting. And I can tell you, in my estimation, had things not changed ownership-wise, I don't think that LeBron would be as feisty to leave, and I think the Lakers would be more apt to put resources into the current situation, like they always did, kind of like damn the torpedoes. Like, yeah, okay, like the Lakers, they always have an eye on the future, but it is LA. It's usually win now, and that could be changing a little bit as far as like win now at all costs. And I think the ownership has a lot to do with that. And LeBron and Jeannie Buss are tight. Like, he has mentioned that she's an incredible owner. They are together on like social issues that they have done a lot of great things in LA. There's a lot of love there. We all know the viral clip where they're like hanging out and she puts her head on his shoulder. She calls him a real life superhero. But that real life superhero could be taking his superpowers to the DFW. I'm sorry, that's in the building. We're having an emergency. No, sorry, that was we're actually we're dialed into like the CBS News Path website. It's like whatever. It gives you all the B-roll you need. That's the behind the scenes rogue media stuff you don't need. Here's what you do need. If you're the Mavericks, I don't know if you need LeBron James, really. But man, just what an amazing situation. Okay, and here's one more NBA thing, and this is the kind of stuff I think we'll be seeing over the next couple of days. This is big news. This is actually very big news. So the Milwaukee Bucks are waiving Dame Lillard and stretching the $113 million remaining on his contract to acquire Miles Turner. So Miles Turner, who by all indications was going to re-sign with the Pacers on a big deal, has gone to the Bucks. And so that doesn't surprise me in a sense where you think, like, I think Dame Lillard is toast. I would, if he was like, I don't care if I'm a Sixers fan, like sort of now, but if he ends up on the Sixers, I'm not like super excited about that. You know, I'd love to see Dame Lillard get a ring somewhere and still play like a important role, because I think he has that in him. But I don't think there's anywhere near the let's fall all over ourselves talking about Dame Lillard anymore. It's just not. He's older. Like, that's what happens. The one thing I will say, the more and more we get into the NBA offseason and we're doing this and I'm talking about these star players, man, everybody scores a lot of points. Like, LeBron at 40 years old is averaging 25 points, 7 rebounds and like 8 assists. Is that right? I wrote it down here. Hold on. LeBron's averages are, 24 points, 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists. Damn. That's damn near a triple-double. And oh, by the way, this is a reason to trade for this dude, okay? He played 70 games last year. Like, I know we lump LeBron in with like the whole load management bitch fest, but he played 70 games last year. That's pretty damn good, right? Remember, he wanted to play like every game, but like, you know, whatever. Yeah, man, pretty cool. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers. We just saw what happened with Dame Lillard, but I believe ownership plays more of a role in this situation that is playing out right now than people are talking about. And that is from my education on, like, you know, just knowing the Lakers, following the Lakers forever, reading every book about the Lakers, watching basketball forever, working in the NBA, getting a feel. I didn't get off the phone with Rob Pelinka this morning, although I did. You want to hear a funny story? I'll tell this funny story. So here's my Rob Pelinka story. When I was doing PR for the Philadelphia 76ers, I always say this, if you're watching for the first time, I've been sober now for 14 years. Why do I say that? Because the guy I'm about to tell you about in this story is much different than the guy, I swear to God, that I am today. So this is before I got sober. It's 2007. I moved to Charlotte to take a job as a PR manager. Or I'm sorry, I moved from Charlotte, working for the Hornets, to take a job as a PR manager for the 76ers. And, as somebody who's like, has like, if anybody out there knows like what being an addict is like, for me, in my experience, like when you get a job, and you're in active addiction, a lot of times like addicts do a great job of like, you know, for the first like 6 weeks, they'll do an amazing job, right? But then like, you know, they get comfortable, they start to hit the booze a little more. I don't need to explain to you. So my first couple of months in Philly, like throughout the fall, I was great, okay? But I mean, honestly, I didn't even have a car. I didn't have a car because like I couldn't even figure out like how to get one. How I maintained my job in Charlotte working for the Bobcats, well, I guess it's not too much of a surprise when we see the success that they had when they were the Bobcats. I want to see them do well, though. I love that organization. But I get to Philly and I don't have a car, and I'm getting rides with people everywhere. It's so stupid. This is before Uber, and one day we have responsibilities as PR people. My boss, Mike Preston, props, just went to the NBA Finals with the Pacers. Preston does an amazing job. So Preston was my boss in Philly at the time, and he was like, "Hey, Pete, I need you to go to this appearance that Andre has at a T-Mobile store. Andre Iguodala, good dude." I'm like, "Cool. You know, I've been at practice. I'm working with these guys. They know me." So I get dropped off at the Sixers practice facility because I don't have a car. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking I'll just ride with Andre. Like, that's not what you do. That's not like well thought out. You're the PR guy. Have your own ride or drive him. And it was on this day that Andre decided to break out like this like coupe, you know, like a very small car. And with him on that day is Rob Pelinka, his agent at the time. So I get to the practice facility and I'm like, I meet those guys and I'm like, "Oh, Rob, like you're here." And he was so one of the coolest dudes of all time. But I kind of shocked him with this one. So he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, white guy on the Fab Five team." Like he and I were talking. I was like, "Of course." So they're like, "Okay, you ready to go to this T-Mobile store so Andre can do this appearance for a marketing commitment he has?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'll ride with you guys." And they're both like, "What, dude?" Like we are literally in a 2-seater. And I'm like kind of panicked. I'm like, "Well, I don't know." And I'm like, "I can just ride with you guys. It'll be all right." And they were both like, "What the what?" So I literally cram in the back of this coupe, right? Like, I am like a third wheel. Okay, these two are like, first of all, Pelinka is a great agent, and anything. What I learned from him in that car ride was like a way to. It's like almost if you're dating someone, or if you have a client or somebody in your life that you want to feel important. He did not stop asking Andre questions like the whole time, like about like who's the best MC, what's Jay-Z's best album, what's Jay-Z's best lyric, like what's the best movie, how good was American Gangster, how good was Denzel, what's your favorite? I was like, damn, and he did an amazing job getting to know. I mean, these guys were client agent at the time. This is 2007. Andre had been in the year for in the league for 3 or 4 years. I don't think they were best friends, but I was impressed with that. Yeah, so I embarrassed myself in front of Rob Pelinka. But at the end of the day, he was like, hey, we of course, like a creature of the night, we finished up downtown in Philly, which is where my apartment was. And I was like, all right, I'll see, because we were out in the suburbs. Like, you don't just take public transportation all around the suburbs. I was like, all right, I'll see you guys. And I left, and everybody was happy, and I went out like the night ranger into the night. But yeah, I embarrassed myself in front of Rob Pelinka. All right, the Pete Souza Show. Nothing about Rob is embarrassing, by the way. Smooth dude, looks like Rob Lowe. And Andre Iguodala's son. I can't wait to reunite with Andre when his son, who we used to call Little Dre in Philly, I get to reunite with him. Boy, Andre will probably be pretty surprised when he sees me. All right, the Pete Souza Show coming back on the other side of this break.